Good luck trying to fit a blue Yeti in your ass. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Anime Summoned Podcast. I am Mac, and with me I have Sham.
What's up, bitches?
No butt faces this time?
No, I said that last time.
Fair enough.
Butt faces is funnier, though. Damn it. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. I fucked up. All right, go ahead.
And we have
pretty bad,
the
Jesus
butt
Christ.
face Nick.
No one asked you.
How about
You
them
did.
Warriors, boys? That's my
No.
intro. That's what I wrote down.
Stupid.
That is
The
pretty
Golden
stupid.
State
Who
Warriors
watches
crushed.
sports? Who watches sports?
The Cleveland Cavaliers, 3-1.
Nick's the only one who
Sports.
watches sports. Like
I don't even watch the NBA. I just
Who
follow
cares
the
about
beans.
sports? I mean, really, sports. Why do I care
It's
about
okay.
sports?
LeBron is
Here's
still
my idea
Steph
for
Curry's
the fucking
daddy.
sport.
Sports.
All right.
Fuck Kevin Durant. Am I right, guys? Wife of the week, Kevin Durant.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Oh, man.
This is an anime podcast, not a sports podcast. Damn it.
Codcast. Cod.
Podcast.
Cod.
This is-
Cod's
Well,
This
if you've
is
ever
a-
seen Slam Dunk, it's kind of like the the Golden State Warriors, except it's not.
Anyway, later in the podcast, we're going to talk about our favorite
Emotional boys. SADBOYS.
Don't include me in that.
Running through the cut, tatted
Boys
on my
thing,
chest.
but
I forgot the lyrics, but
Emotional, feelsy moments.
Nick knows best.
We
These-
got a little...
These are things in anime that may or may not have made your penis twitch slightly to the side or made your strange feel kind of tingly inside.
And there are moments, obviously, that like everyone kind of agrees.
That pulled our heartstrings, right?
there are some moments
that's
that are
the
kind
feels
of
we're
like-
talking about. We're not talking
That-
about hype, because that's different.
Hey, I would like
that
to
have pulled our heartstrings.
Okay, I'd like to finish talking. Okay,
It
so anyways,
awoke my cold, dead heart.
everyone got a boner. Yes. Anyways, so like it's different for everyone. Like obviously, there are some that Nick have that I'd probably be like, I didn't really feel that. There are some that I have
Because I'm a robot, dude.
that I'm sure
It's
Mac will be
pre-programmed
like,
into me.
that Mac will be like, yeah, I kind of feel that, but I didn't really feel it that much. Blah blah blah. Anyway.
Also,
So-
because you're wrong. I mean, if you don't agree with my feelings, then you're wrong. Oh, man. Continue, Sam.
Are you done being a bitch?
Maybe.
You got 5 more minutes of that.
Oh, man. I'm just shit-talking, bro. Just keep going, keep going.
Listen, we have to do best grill, and then we got to go to the news. And you can let out all your bitchiness during the news.
Wait, Sam, you've seen Rick and Morty, right? That reminded me of the scene where the teacher is getting felt up, and he's like, 5 more minutes of this, and I'm going to get mad.
It's just so funny.
That's exactly what happened.
5 more minutes of this and I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah, I see that. I see
That's you
that
right
one.
now, Sam. That's you.
Oh my
All right, shut up.
So,
Nice to
uh,
meet you.
so yeah.
Actually, no, we'll do the news first. So we'll move on to Nick, our news anchor, for the news. Beep, 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 beep.
Well, first one. This one's easy. Attack on Titan Season 3 confirmed. Woo! For
Cool,
next
now
year.
we're not going to wait
2018.
4 years.
It's
Yeah,
confirmed
thank
for
God.
2018, but let's see how
2018.
long. Let's see how long this gets pushed back again and again.
I don't think it will. I think
And
they
again.
got their shit together, maybe.
And again.
No, because they actually made like an official teaser for it, which I don't think they would do. Which I don't think they would do with, you know,
And again.
there's like a video.
And again.
And again.
Nah,
And,
yeah, 'cause
you know, Attack on Titan. Dude, if you haven't been watching that, get out of that rock you've been hiding under. Cause
Yeah,
Attack
like
on
seriously,
Titan
who is not?
is
Who
the
is
hypest
not
anime of the
watching
season.
Attack on
One of the
Titties?
biggest of the past decade. So, if not the biggest, I think it's the biggest anime of the past decade. I would say that as far as popularity and hype and shit. Yeah.
Cliffhanger City.
You know,
Exactly.
You're probably right. You're
I'm not
probably
saying it's
right.
like a masterpiece. It's just good. It's just pretty good.
It's
but
just
it's like really
pretty-
fucking fun,
it's
dude.
just-
That's what it is. I'd say it's
that
really good.
Mikasa,
Yeah.
man. You know, hey girl,
Thick, dude.
hey
He's wearing
girl.
jeans.
Mikasa is Sukasa.
And Annie is
hey,
my
girl.
girl though. Annie's my waifu from that show.
Man, you know,
For
I'm
sure,
partial. I'm partial to
What, Krista? You're a
Krista or
fag?
Historia or maybe
Just kidding.
maybe even Sasha. You know, I'm all about the potatoes.
But yeah, she'll eat your potato. She'll probably bite down.
I'm a square, and I just like Mikasa because I like a girl who
Dude,
can
I
kick
like
my
her,
ass.
dude. Same. But no, Annie
Yeah.
though. I'm taking Annie. She's thick,
Annie could
dude.
kick your ass too, yeah. And she could kick my ass anytime.
Best dojins. They need to make more
Best
dojins for
dojins?
that show. Good lord.
Well, you
The
always like
jeans?
judged bitches on their dojins, like
Yeah.
it
Well,
doesn't make sense. Like,
how
it's
else do you
stupid.
judge them? Like what other criteria?
Not on their dojins.
Yeah, not on their character. That's for sure. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm just-
What else you got?
Okay, well, we got some more announcements. We got Pluto, the anime, is announced. One of the most popular and beloved mangas is coming to the silver screen. I don't even know if it's a silver. It's just coming to, like, fucking the internet and stuff. So, you know, that's not really the silver
It's
screen. but
coming to
Yeah,
the
Pluto, dude.
interwebs.
It's super duper duper famous. And it's finally. It's going to be like an 8-episode OVA type thing. For some reason,
So
this
so
person
kind of
linked a
like
French article.
Fooly Cooly, kind of like Gunbuster, kind of like those.
A little bit, yeah. I think the episodes will be longer, though. They'll be. I heard they'll
A
be
little
longer.
longer, a little girthier.
We'll get into that later, Mac. All right.
I mean,
calculation.
we have to drop some of the vocabulary words right here. And vocabulary word of the week: girth.
No, wouldn't it be yaw?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yaw does factor into it. If you look back at the adjusted penis size equation.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Pluto. Real quick, it's by Naoki Urasawa and the famous Osamu Tezuka. So it's just like it's been around, and you know they made a. They're making a show. So
Yeah.
everyone's got to watch it. It's coming out.
Hopefully it'll be more enjoyable than Adam at the beginning. But yeah.
I'm not exactly sure when it comes out. It just said it was teased.
I don't think it says either. Because I was reading it earlier.
Let's click this real quick. Let's click this real quick.
So how about though?
2020. Okay, 2020 is when it's supposedly coming out. Studio Mappa, 8 episodes long, 1 per book. All right,
That's
there we go.
1
Pluto.
year. That's 1 year before C Lab 2021.
There we go. Get Pluto then C Lab.
Lab underneath the water.
All right, enough of that shit song.
Actually, it originally was C-Lab 2020, and then 2021 is like the Adult Swim.
Oh shit! And then we got
Parody.
Inferno Cop season 2 coming out.
Oh,
And
God,
if you
yes.
if you
Oh my God.
are not hype about Inferno Cop season 2, go watch Inferno Cop.
you get
season
right,
1.
you get right out of Fucktown. if
Go
you're
watch
not,
all of season 1. The vast number of episodes.
It'll
And the
take
vast
you-
the episodes are
It takes you
so
20 minutes.
long. They are so long. It's just I don't know how you're going to be able
The
to do
story
it.
about Inferno Cop is they could only write it in their downtime. Like they got like an hour or something a day to make the show. Maybe it was a little more than that, but it was not very much time. And they just did everything like piecemeal. They didn't give a fuck, and it was really funny. So
But it's so good.
exactly, you don't need quality.
Chief
to make
over
quality.
Justice versus Inferno Cop. Who wins? I'm gonna say Inferno Cop.
I'm just gonna say Inferno Cop. I don't know.
As much as I
Fuck
love
it.
Chief over Justice,
I mean, wasn't Over Justice pretty much an homage to Inferno Cop pretty much?
pretty much.
Yeah,
So
he's a
that would be
bitch.
that would be like saying who would win, Jean-Luc Picard or Jean-Luc Picard?
Yeah, it's like Kaiki or Kaiki, right?
Yeah.
What is
It's
that?
like
the fake
Smokey-
is something more than more
Smokey
real than the real.
Or Puff Smoky. Who
Which
would
I don't
win?
even think that's what he meant.
Well, Puff Smoky is like his kind of like Super Saiyan form. You know, it's Super,
Super
Saiyan
Saiyan
1.
SSJ1.
SSJ.
And then, so we got one last piece of news. It's not really news. It's just
Piece of
like a
ass.
discussion. Amazon Mother's Basement released a video that says, "Are Amazon and Netflix killing great anime?" And it just goes on to discuss how like the legal streaming services are letting us down a bit with, you know, the timing, the quality, the pricing of all the shows that they're trying to license and not license, and how it's a problem. And we'll link it in the show notes. It's a cool discussion. TLDR, piracy is saving anime.
Actually,
That's my thoughts.
There is one more piece of news that's really important, and since I'm not going, you guys have to catch this. But Anime Expo schedule is screening trailer of Fooly Cooly 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah. They got a trailer going for
Yes,
that.
and I will hopefully be there on those days. Hopefully. It depends on how the work goes. Know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if I will go to that trailer. I mean, I feel like you can just find it on the internet afterward, right?
You
But I guess
probably
there's-
can, but
you
if
know
you're
what?
going
Seeing
to
it
be
live,
there,
I
you
feel-
got like staff there, right?
I feel like you can shut up.
I think they like answer
Yeah,
questions.
why don't you
like, a little
go?
Panel
Yeah,
or some
why don't
shit.
you just shut up?
Anyway,
yeah, Nick, get a hobby.
Yeah, Nick. Jesus.
All right, fine. I'm gonna go play Magic. Jeez.
Complete magic, jeez.
And Shoal, guys. On to waifu.
You got the waifu of the
On
week.
to the waifu of the week. Shoal.
Who would you waifu?
We need to
right
get an
Shinch.
Oju-sama laugh
Shinch.
track.
Who
in
would
there.
you waifu
Shinch.
right now?
Since the episode title is about feels anime, you know what I'm saying. I decided to go with Nagisa from Clannad because that is pretty much the epitome of a feelsy show.
Clannad.
That's all.
And
it
then-
is.
And then obviously there was that one scene where she held hands like a fucking slut.
We're just reading off the show notes here.
You fucking slut.
I put down a bunch of S's.
Like really,
I don't know.
I can't believe KyoAni like honestly put that out there on the air. I mean, that was so wrong,
The
so
only-
lewd.
So wrong.
I
for
literally
television.
remember that scene as being censored because I've seen the GIF version of it where it's censored.
No, because like it's
So in my
like
head, that's how it actually went.
like it's uncensored. That's the thing about it. It's uncensored, and like their hands just kind of slowly move closer together, and then they kind of
Oh.
grasp, and it's like, oh,
cover your ears, children.
it's like, wow.
Yeah, this episode is gonna be 18 plus. That's so you can make sure we put that on iTunes with explicit
I mean,
content.
every episode is fart, dick, shit, cunt. There we go. 18 plus.
Let me tell you this.
Sam's really got a kick out of that one.
You can go ahead and screw yourself with a lubricated horse cock.
Take some drink here. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Anyway,
Feels, boys.
let's
So now,
move on to the main
Let's
topic.
The main
define
topic.
feels. First,
The-
let's fucking define it. Let's see if
Feels.
Urban Dictionary
Okay,
has it.
so feels.
My homepage, Urban
How you
Dictionary.
calculate feels
This
is
is like-
length times girth times yaw, basically.
No,
Okay,
no,
Urban
no,
Dictionary
no.
defines feels as a wave of emotion that sometimes cannot be adequately explained. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. That's pretty
That's
good.
pretty good,
actually,
actually,
that's
yeah.
actually a good
That's like
definition.
dead on.
Some dumb
What?
thing.
But like it seems very, very prevalent in the anime community that when you say, "Oh man, gave me the feels," or even just nerd lingo, "Gave me the feels, bro," you know, that episode of Doctor Who with Van Gogh gave me the feels, you know.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. I'm saying it.
Van
I've been saying it
Gogh.
wrong I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's actually Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Sam, do your cough. Do be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Van
You
Gogh.
just- excuse me, you're saying it wrong. It's actually Van.
French people, am I right? All right. So let's
Vachant Van Gogh.
move on. Feels, boys. So
So do we want to like go?
makes
Do we
us-
want to do like?
what gives us feels? What makes me feel? What awakens my heart that's dead and cold?
For me, I think it's just like if it makes me feel like excited, or like sad, or I cry, or I get angry. You know, like there's always sometimes
Whoa.
there's that one anime.
But we're talking about like the sad kind specifically, I think, right?
No, we're talking about any kind.
Any kind of feels. Did you not
Okay,
get the
I thought
memo?
we were only doing the sads.
You need to
'Cause, like,
go
I
you
feel
need to go
like-
look at the memos.
There's multiple topics we could do with this. We could go anime that makes you angry. That's an episode.
No.
Anime
Et cetera,
that makes
et
you
cetera.
feel feels. It just
All right, I'm
makes
gonna
you
go with only
it
sad
just
boys.
it just makes you
I
feel
have a lot of.
some
I
kind
do
of
have
way.
most of mine are like sad things, but I mean I have a couple on my list that made me like, whoa, it's badass, or oh man, fucking.
See, I think that's another topic though. I think that's a totally other topic.
I don't think so. because I have mostly sad stuff.
Let's look at Urban Dictionary again, boys.
I wouldn't be able to
used
do a whole
describe
episode
something
on
that is intentionally emotional on a level somewhere between you feeling empty on the floor and you. What the fuck? You feeling empty and you on the floor in the ball weeping uncontrollably. There.
That's a
weeping.
meme.
And then their example sentence. Man,
Okay,
when
but
I
no,
finished
no,
watching
no.
Angel Beats, there were so many feels.
But here's what I'm trying to tell you, though, is that I have mostly sad stuff. I wouldn't be able to do a whole episode on the stuff that made me angry. Like, definitely would
Yeah, you
not be
could.
able to
Sure.
do that.
Yeah, sure you could. Well, whatever. Let's try to stick to the point. Let's try to tunnel vision like a horse.
The point was feels, and that's what we talked about.
Well, the Urban
We're gonna
Dictionary is
talk
telling you
about
what to do.
feels. So,
It's where you curl into a
So-
ball and you're a little scaredy bitch.
as the guy who does the intro every week, I'm going to take the initiative and start this out because I can and because screw you guys, I'm going home.
Okay,
And on with that.
You want to do like round table? Do
We
that?
can indeed. We can play
Okay.
some round robin
circle
here.
jerk it.
Round robin, one pump, two
Whose
pump,
dick am I
three pump,
grabbing?
done. One pump, two pump, three pump, done. Kind of like
Actually,
that.
everything on my list did make me cry, so I don't know.
So,
why I-
Since
to be fair, Sam cries at everything.
Shut up.
Since waifu
You
of the
cried
week
when you-
was
when you
from
dropped your egg
was
on the
from
floor, son.
Clannad, it only feels fair to start out with the source of the waifu of the week, and that is
Clannad.
Clannad.
So let me just
Specifically,
preface by saying
Clannad
these
after
are-
story.
these are like personal to Mac, mine are personal to me, and we're talking about if you got more that are more like personal to you, put them in the comments. Go ahead, Mac.
Okay, so Clannad, specifically Clannad after story. If you want to go into specifics more about this, you can go see the Clannad versus Your Lie in April episode because we did that.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't know what number that was. That was in the
that
mid
was
numbers.
probably around Tree Fitty.
probably.
So
I
anyways,
think it was in the 30s somewhere.
Clannad. This show, what Clannad does and what based KyoAni shows you is you have this slow, long developing relationship between these two characters. And it takes that and manipulates it in such a way that it rips your fucking heart out around episode 15 of the second season.
Oh, way to
And it does
spoil it.
And it does it in such a way that you will be laying on the curl, that you will be laying on the ground, curled up in a ball, trying not to cry, but crying a lot. And
Not me, I
it
didn't
doesn't
cry.
it doesn't
I was
pull
chopping onions.
it doesn't pull its punches whatsoever. It really doesn't. And it's kind of like the epitome of like, holy shit, this show gave me the feels, at least for me anyways. Clannad definitely pulls that off in spades because it hits you not just once, not twice, but 3 times in the span of that second season, in the span of about 6 or 7 episodes. So yeah, that's kind of like the epitome of the feels for me. Now, that's not to say that some other shows out there don't have some incredibly good scenes that made me go, wow, this shit's deep. But the fact that Clannad managed to build it up the way that it did, that made my penis adjust its drift by about 2 degrees to the right, which adds a significant factor into its TMI figuring. Because the yaw has
Exactly.
increased
Lot
by
of weight.
2 degrees.
The weight was increased.
The yaw. No, not the weight. But the yaw was increased. And that says something whenever you have an increase in yaw. See the South Park episode called TMI. You can watch
Too
it
much
now on
information.
you can watch it now on southparkstudios.com. Now back to you, whoever's taking it from here.
Matt or Sam, you've seen Clannad, right?
Actually,
Ta-ding.
I've seen only the first. Hold on a second. I gotta cut this out. What is this? What is happening here? My iTunes just kind of like started up and okay. Sorry, cut that out. Sorry.
His iTunes
no,
got
you
the
know what?
I
feels.
sneezed anyway.
I actually haven't seen all of it. I haven't seen After Story.
Okay, so I'll take it away
So-
from here then. Fuck you.
So Sam hasn't seen After Story. Sam hasn't seen Steins Gate. What's up?
Here's the thing about Clannad. You got to get through the first season, which is okay.
It's
a little
okay.
silly. It's whatever, you know. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And then you get to the second season, and you're like, well, what the fuck? I thought this was supposed to be feels. And then you get partway through, and you're like, I'm not crying, you're crying. That's like the whole show.
And it doesn't pull its punches either, man. It's vicious, man.
Yeah, it's
whenever
got the family theme
whenever
going
it
on,
hits,
father-daughter
it's vicious.
thing going. You know, I think it had some good moments there, but to me it wasn't. It just wasn't consistent enough to be my top feels show. So, are we comparing like that? I don't even know if that's necessary. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean,
If you have
Clannad
the
made
time to watch.
I mean,
50
Clannad
odd
made my
episodes,
yaw
then
be
do it.
adjusted by 2 degrees, so that's a good starting point.
I think it does a very good job in a small section of the show. Other than that, we can mention some other anime that
Yeah,
made
we don't
us-
have to,
Such
you don't have to,
as
like, just round table it.
Because we had a whole episode on that and Urlai. Well, Urlai in April, yeah, we mentioned that one. Let's just get that out of the way. We all saw that. Sam saw that. Max saw that. I saw that.
Your line April sucks.
Yeah, I didn't
Except
give
it
me as
doesn't
much.
suck.
Well, I mean, the thing about Your Lie in April, and I already said this in the. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
not go
repeat
too
it.
long.
I'm not going
on
to
it.
repeat it.
I know you guys didn't like it as much as me and Quokka, but you know.
I've just seen
Can't
enough
all
of
have good
the.
taste, so.
I've just seen enough of the.
We can't all have
one
good
of the-
directing, you mean?
One of the main characters has some kind of disease that's going to kill her at the end. Shows, movies. I've seen enough of that. So anyway.
Yeah, so what? It's a played out premise. Who cares? I think it was well done. It has a very good soundtrack too. Great.
It was done well. I just
second
and
OP.
That's
Or
just my personal
ED,
thing.
Sorry, dude. The ED Orange. The name of that one is so good.
Kimi da yo, kimi nan da yo.
No. That's not it. That's not it. The ED, the
Something.
ending song to like the last part of the show is like the best. It's like I just like tear up every time. I'm like, oh.
Okay, well, I'm just going to start
That's
on my
what
list
happens.
if you're done, Nick.
But yeah. I'm not done, but I was just mentioning Your Lie in April, Clan.
Oh,
We
okay.
mentioned a couple of the heavy big ones that everyone
Yeah,
talks
your line
about.
April sucks. Moving on.
Everybody should watch Your Lie in April. Don't listen
Your
to
Lie
these
in
fucking
April
guys.
sucks.
They don't know what they're talking about.
If you want to
It's
see
one of the best shows.
if you
want to
see some shitty ass directing decisions, yes, go watch Your Lie in April. You will see what I mean.
It was fine. It was directed very well, actually. They did a very good job with the piano scenes.
Actually, they were very questionable with the piano scenes.
Okay, let's not get into that again. There's a
Yeah,
whole
let's move
fucking
on.
episode
Let's
on
move
it.
on.
Nick's right. They're wrong. Move on, Sam.
Nick's not right.
I'm definitely right.
No.
Praise me in
Anyway,
the comments. Praise me.
The first thing on my list, and I'm not going to get too much into it because we all, I mean, I would think that a lot of our listeners know about it already, and they know what I'm going to say. But the father-son Kamehameha with Goku and Gohan versus Cell.
Oh hell yeah!
You know
dude.
what? That didn't even cross my fucking mind. I was
That-
Doesn't
you
have
know
to be
whenever
the whole show, just moments.
I mean
Yeah.
that show though, like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the whole franchise. Like whenever you have that one scene where young Goku fights Grandpa Gohan.
Oh yeah. Oh
My god.
I should have put that down too. Yeah. He realizes because he's wearing a mask at first, and then
It's so good.
oh yeah. In Dragon Ball,
yeah, in Dragon Ball, yeah, Baba brings him back for 24 hours so he could fight Goku.
That show is mostly a comedy, but it did have a few of those moments in it.
Yeah. The last fight between him and Piccolo and that is really good too. But the father-son Kamehameha, if the show ended right there, I probably would have been even satisfied because of that. Just because of that. Like, that moment was so fucking cool because Goku's dead.
Spoilers.
Well,
Although it's fucking Dragon Ball, everyone dies in that show.
right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all know Goku's, like, alive right now. But, I mean, you know, he was dead, and there's Cell and Gohan trying to push each other's Kamehameha into one another, and Goku comes down, and he's like, you got this, right? And then they, like, do it together, and it's like, oh, my God. It wasn't even just not even just a feelsy moment, but just a really badass moment where you're just like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck Cell and everything he's done. Like, because Cell was a hard ass. Like, he was ruthless.
Yeah, he's just a combination of all the villains, pretty much, and he like ate the whole planet.
Right.
Nom 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 nom.
Right.
nom, nom.
But anyway,
And
that's I'm not gonna go too much.
That's
into
one
it
of
'cause
those that's one of those things that just like builds up over a whole bunch of episodes because you get all like attached to the story and characters,
Right. Right.
And it's one of those. And there's a bunch of those. There's another one in the show, real quick, where Vegeta is fighting Cell, and he does the final flash. Like, dude, Vegeta has, I think, easily some of the best scenes in that show. But
Vegeta's actually the whole reason Gohan was able to move his Kamehameha over Cell's at the end there. Other than Goku helping him, but because Vegeta was like, I'm done. I'm sick of this. I'm fucking tired. Everyone's helping Gohan but me. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fucking... And then he like goes in there and he does it. And Cell was like, what the fuck? What was that? And then...
Yeah, no. I was talking about a different scene, though.
Oh, we're like...
There's the other one. Just go to YouTube and type in Final Flash. It's like the one with the most views. It's one of the most epic scenes ever.
It is.
Oh,
Whenever
I know what you're talking about.
Vegeta uses
It's
self-destruct.
literally like 3 straight minutes of him charging his fucking beam, and Cell's just standing there trying to tank it.
It's after he comes out of the hyperbolic time chamber with Future Trunks.
See,
yeah, Vegeta's like his
he
his
should
flaws
have
that he's
used
so arrogant,
Flash. He should have used Flash to get out of the way, but instead he didn't. So he
No,
got
he used
caught.
Final
in the,
Flash.
He got caught.
No, because
he
the
got
thing
caught
from
in the
space.
The thing about Dragon Ball Z is that none of them move out of the way. They just stand there and try and tank it.
Because they're Saiyans, dude. They're part Saiyan. They gotta fight.
And then he
Anyway.
didn't use Zanya's hourglass. He
And
didn't
actually,
use
no.
active.
The best, I think, an even better scene maybe is one where he's dying after getting shot by Frieza. Spoilers for Dragon Ball Z, by the way.
Yeah.
Vegeta. This is the Frieza arc. Or the Namek arc, and he's just like he's giving this whole speech about like he could never live his life, and like Frieza had him under his thumb the whole time, and he's just like always feeling like a piece of shit and all that. And that was a great scene in Dragon Ball Z, which usually doesn't have that stuff.
Well, like by the time you're watching this too, Vegeta is this kind of hard ass, stone cold person.
He's the most like empathetic character in the show, I think.
But then you see him but up until this point though, you just think he's this kind of jerk, but he's kind of on our side, but we don't know.
He's a tsundere.
Right, and he starts crying because he was like, he told me that if I didn't do this, he would kill he would blow up my planet and kill the rest of my family, and he blew it up anyway. And he's just like, and then he dies, and it's like, oh shit.
And then Linkin Park starts playing, and all the music videos go.
I become shiny in my skin. That was beautiful.
Anyways, let's go back to
Enough
Mac.
of Dragon Ball Z.
Back to me.
What do we got, Mac?
Let's see here. Next on my
South Park.
Next on my list here, it's not South Park. Next on my list here, if you've ever seen this, and this is kind of a drop from the one that I mentioned before, at least in my opinion, because I don't want to mention all of the big ones here. I want to kind of highlight some of the smaller shows that maybe other people haven't seen or unaware of that have feels. But the topic of this one at least, I'm going to go with Railgun Season 2, specifically the Sisters arc. I haven't
seen it.
I haven't seen it.
So none of you guys have seen it. Okay, so
just give us a quick pitch.
Basically, what is happening in the second season in the Sisters arc is the main character Bitty Bitty, the Railgun, finds out that all those years ago when those scientists were like, "Hey, we can take your DNA and use it to help sick little kids," and she was like, "Yay, do it! I'm a loli." And then they make thousands and thousands of clones of her. And Accelerator is killing them off one by one so he can turn into a level 6. And
is this Railgun or even
Railgun Season 2? So it's just the struggle that you see, at least with her character, because she kind of walks a really dark path of trying to save all of these clones. And it's really brutal, and it's just like, wow, I was not expecting this out of the Railgun series. Because at least if you've watched Railgun and you watch Index, you kind of expect it, it's kind of that shonen kind of thing where it's, fight, 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 nothing really serious. And then you get the Sisters Noise arc, and it kind of stands out on its own because, for one, it's written really well because you get to see the pain of the character really well. And thank God it covers most of the second season, because what happens after that is an absolute heaping pile of shit. But still.
All right, we got something to look forward to.
I know, right?
Cool shit.
I know,
You know
right?
how much I like shit.
But it's just this kind of struggle that she goes through and trying to do this all on her own without telling anybody. It's really satisfying to watch, and I really enjoyed the way that it was executed, the way that it was written, and really just how that whole arc developed. It's just, it's
So, Mac, you're one of those
my
guys.
penis twitched a little bit.
You watch a show and you're just waiting for those bundle of episodes with the feels. It's just
Well,
like
not
Clannad.
necessarily. I
The rest of the show's a
naturally
little different.
I naturally
No, I'm just
gravitate to shows that, have feels. I love feels. Feels are great. I absolutely love watching feels heavy shows. But whenever I watch a show that I'm just kind of expecting, hey, cool fights, flashy fight scenes, yay, explosions, and then all of a sudden, feels. And I'm like, okay, I approve of this. And that is why this went onto my little
Max
list
stamp of
here.
approval.
Max
All right,
stamp of
Sam,
approval.
I'm
Railgun
gonna move
season
on
2.
to mine now. Here we go. Let's find one that we've all watched. All right, we had an episode on this. I'm just gonna real quick mention Gunbuster and then go to another.
That
one.
was also on my list.
So we
Yeah, that was on mine too.
We had like a whole episode on Gunbuster. If you haven't seen that, or if you haven't checked that one out, then go to that.
Then check
'Cause
it
that
out.
show.
Then check it out at
Watch the show
animesummit.net.
and then listen to the episode, because that show for me, especially Gunbuster, not quite as much Diebuster, but like it's just the whole '80s vibe and like the vintage feel and those famous character designs, and like just how everything's so over the top, and the audio is just like a little bit less than perfect, as far as like sounding old,
Buster.
Some of the artistic choices.
Yeah, like Noriko and the other girl. I always forget the other girl's name. But like anyway, they have to like stick together
Onesama?
and fight off the aliens by themselves, and they're just like alone against the whole universe basically, and they have to save the world. It's just and then they, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but the ending is very it's very like uplifting, and
The artistic choices that were made in the last episode were fan-fucking-tastic.
really good. So yeah, check out the episode we did on that
Don't
one.
listen to what Quokka says about what happens in the last episode, because he's a moron.
We didn't
Yeah,
expect to
yeah.
have to defend it against being bad, because it's not. Bad.
Right.
It's really good.
Episode
Gunbuster,
55.
baby. So I'm gonna go to a different one.
That's
we've-
episode 55 of our podcast, by the way.
55. Okay, thanks. So we'll link that in the show notes.
Go ahead, Nick.
So here we go. Aria. This is where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna talk about Aria, not Aria the Scarlet Ammo. Aria the animation, and then plus its sequels, the natural, the origination, and there's some OVAs in there. It all adds up to over 60 episodes of content.
Wouldn't
It's
that qualify
basically-
more as a feel-good show?
Well, it's a yashike. It's a healing show. So what a yashike means is you're supposed to just feel a sense of like content, calmness, relaxation, a little bit of catharsis, and it's just Aria is like the epitome of that trope, that genre. So like the whole point of the show is there's these girls who are living in Neo Venetia on Mars, and it's like this futuristic version of Mars. It's basically just Venice, and it's all a paradise basically. And they learn these little like slice of life lessons every episode. It's similar to Flying Witch, but amp up Flying Witch. If you liked Flying Witch, just like triple how good you thought it was, and that's Aria right there. And especially the ending of Aria the Origination was like, I was just like a puddle. And like I didn't expect to be, but it's because of the time you spent with the characters and how well it's paced, and you grow with the world, and you don't want to leave Neo Venetia. You want to stay there in the paradise pretty much, but you have to, and it's all about like this bittersweet moment, and There's another video we can link if I can find it. It's a little bit of a meme now, but it's by it's by a guy from the other server, and it's from the True Anime server, and it's called Glamour and Grace, where he talks about Aria and other magical girl shows and stuff with that topic, and it's really good. So yeah, Aria is one of those shows that even like rewatching the first episode, I was like choked up a little bit just because of the soundtrack and how it's portrayed, and like I'm remembering the world and the characters. It was just really it's like the opposite of me in real life. That's what Aria is, which is kind of why I like it. So yeah, I mean, if you guys, Sam, I think you might like it. Do you guys like Flying Witch at all?
I did not enjoy Flying. Well, there was moments I loved about it.
I have
there's
no
a few
strong
episodes.
feelings one way or the other.
I think we can agree that Flying Witch had some stronger episodes than others.
Yeah.
That wasn't really that show was more like just super slice of life. It wasn't.
It was. Yeah.
It wasn't as much like emotion. There was not as much emotion. But Aria is it's like heavy emotion in almost every other episode. It's crazy. So, and the best way to watch it is a couple of episodes a day, maybe one a day. You know, you don't binge Aria because it's like eating too much cake. You're just gonna fucking sugar crash and
too
throw
sweet.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely check out Aria, the GOAT Iyashike show, the best of all time.
So next on this roundtable circle jerk is Sam.
I want to mention two really quick, because this one I'm about to say I want to get out of the way because I think this is on all our lists. But the ending to Cowboy Bebop, bang.
Yes.
Oh, there's other episodes too, actually. The one with
there's
Faye
definitely
finding
there
the
are
past
multiple
and everything.
episodes.
There are multiple episodes that have
The Chess Master one. I like
in
that
the
one.
midst of all this like bounty hunting sci-fi goodness and cowboy goodness, there's tons of feels in this anime, but that
Episode 1, dude. Oh my god. Episode 1 was really good too. I recently rewatched it. It was amazing.
a couple others I can mention are like Ganymede Elegy and the one about Faye, even Faye's character ending in the show by itself. But anyway, I want to get that one out of the way. I don't want to say, the ending, but if you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Please watch it.
Yeah,
It's
if you haven't
26
seen
episodes.
Cowboy Bebop, then what the fuck are you doing?
Then what the
Literally,
fuck?
turn off this podcast, call in sick from work, whatever.
Marathon the
do.
shit
Go watch
out of
it.
it.
Fuck
Yeah.
your life. Anyway, the next one. I'm gonna go on to my actual one now. Eren emerges from the Titan from Attack on Titan season 1.
Oh,
And-
spoilers, by the way.
You know what? This is like episode.
If you haven't seen Attack on Titan, then turn off the podcast, call in from work.
I mean, yeah, we should probably put a little beep at the front, or maybe Matt can put a little thing at the front at the beginning that says "spoiler alert." But if you haven't seen Attack on Titan season 1, it's pretty much known that Eren has the ability to turn into a Titan. Except the way the show plays out is that you don't know that right away. You just randomly see this weird-looking Titan come out of nowhere and start helping Mikasa as she's about to die. And right away, you're kind of like, that might be Eren, because he gets eaten by a Titan earlier. And it's just like, it's weird, right? Because he was this main character and he dies right away. And it's like, this doesn't make sense, right? And then after annihilating all of the Titans that were ravaging the town, he falls forward and Eren emerges from the back of the neck, and Mikasa immediately is overwhelmed. She runs to him and holds him as he's like there, kind of like semi-conscious, semi-unconscious. And that moment is just really powerful to me, because it's like when you grow up with somebody and you're, whether it's your brother or your sister or your next door neighbor, your best friend or whatever, and you have that kind of pact in you to always watch over them, always make sure they're okay, no matter how long it is you've talked to each other or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a bond.
Yeah, it was, the bond was very visible when that moment happened, and it was very clear how Mikasa feels about Eren. And even in the beginning, the first episode of episode 2, of season 2, you can see how Mikasa, in just a few seconds, you can see how Mikasa how
wants
much he
his
cares
dick.
for him. Okay. Anyway,
The Dojins
that-
are not wrong.
that moment in particular, there's some other feels heavy moments that were gut wrenching in that show.
Episode 1 of that show was so fucking brutal.
It was really gut wrenching.
that was sick, but that's not really feels. Anyway,
Oh, it definitely feels like
episode one was just is kind of the Game of Thrones experience. We're you're kind of horrified.
But if that moment didn't fuck you up, then you're some kind of, I don't know, dude.
I don't know. It didn't fuck me up. It just made me want to keep watching. I was like, oh shit.
That's what I'm saying, though. Okay, fuck you then. Anyways, I'm gonna throw the mic back.
Literally
Mac.
throw it.
Oh,
Hit
wait,
him
let me
with it.
catch it. Shit, I missed.
Go pick it up now.
Okay, so I'm not really going in order of my list at all. I'm just naming off some ones I want to talk about. I'm going to mention this one because I don't know if any of the other ones are going to mention it. And that is a certain scene from Erased, Bokudake ga Inai Machi.
Oh, we've all seen that. But yeah, the audio, that's the kind of show that you want to watch. You don't want to get spoiled on it.
Yes, there is a certain scene that happens whenever Kaio is over at his house.
Oh, this one isn't. Well, this is like a light spoiler. It's not really.
Yeah, there's a certain
isn't
scene
really a
that
heavy
happens, and
she's like
coming
eating
from
food with
her
him.
background and what she's had to deal with and what she's had to put up with, really hard life, abusive parents, all of that shit. And it's just the beauty in this scene, seeing the contrast between the life that she had before and what he and his mother are sharing. It's beautiful the way that it flashes back and forth between the two. And
Yeah, it's
she
like
just,
as she's opening her eyes and stuff.
yeah, and yeah, it's just beautiful the way that the cinematography is done right here, and slowly like all these feelings welling up inside of her, and she just starts bawling right there at the table, and it's a really, really powerful
that was
scene.
the best scene in the whole show. Yeah.
It was the best scene in the whole show. Like it was just like the show itself up to that point had been really interesting, and at least for me, it was really interesting and all that. But
Kept you
then
watching.
this scene happened, and it's like, holy shit! Because you weren't expecting this level of out of this show.
I was
And-
kind of
Right.
expecting it, but yeah, it was better than I thought it would be, so it surprised me too.
Yeah, it was just, geez, man, like, holy shit, like, tear your heart out and eat it. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Faux show.
And I wanted
right, pass-
to do that one because it was really quick. Hey, Nick, catch.
I caught it in my butt.
He caught it in his
Got
butt.
it in my butt. Put it in my
was
ass.
way
Put
more-
it in my ass.
Put it in my...
Put the mic. Put it
Good
in
luck
the
trying to
grass.
fit a blue Yeti in your ass.
Oh God.
You may have a
Oh,
little bit
God.
more luck with a Sennheiser
The old
E835, but
Mandingo.
not a blue Yeti. You'll have to do
It's like
some...
a baby's arm holding an apple.
You'll have to do some serious stretching exercises.
You're like a tripod.
It's like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Shout out to Austin Powers.
All right.
Okay, so I got a few that I'm thinking of. We had a whole episode on this one, but I'm going to do it real quick. School days. Woo!
Oh,
I'm just going to leave it there. Anyway. Next,
Okay, moving on.
next one.
Sam?
We had a whole episode on that too. No, I'll do another one here. So this one we haven't really talked about on the cast much. I recently finished it. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's one of the more
Legend,
famous.
I gotta watch that
Legend
one.
of the Galactic Farts.
It's like
I
the
gotta
ultimate
watch it.
elitist anime. Like if you haven't seen this, then you can't really call yourself elitist, can you? Right? I mean,
Look at me. Look at me. I'm that anime snob. I only love things with high stakes.
the galaxy. Well, this one, okay. The anime snob notwithstanding, this is a very, very good show. It's a 110 episode OVA that went from 1988 to like 1997 or something. And it also had some movies and other stuff, tertiary stuff going around it. But basically, you watch a couple movies, watch the 110 OVAs. That's really what you need to see. It's about these different factions, like this, these different political and ruling party factions. I don't remember exactly the title.
So it's like the 13 colonies from Battlestar Galactica, but instead of the Cylons...
Well, there's like 4 to start out with.
Instead of
there's
the
like, there's
Cylons,
like a democratic one. There's
just
like
they're
an
fighting
imperialist
each other.
one. There's like a money.
But wait,
Fazan,
Nick,
and there's, like,
who's
some
the
Earth
final
terrorists.
5?
The final 5. Wait, what?
Okay.
Anyway,
you haven't seen
didn't
Battlestar
understand what-
Galactica. Okay.
No. Well, it might be comparable to this. I haven't seen it, but Legend of Galactic Heroes. The reason I'm putting it on here is because it's such a serious show, and it's like a little bit understated in the way it does its drama, to where it's not like modern shows where they just zoom in on the face and that you can hear the little gasp, like like all the modern shows do, which is really fucking annoying sometimes.
Wait, do that again. Do that again.
That's what they do. It's so stupid. Like, I hate when they do that shit. They're like, they do that, and like, their eyes are watering and they're shaking to try to like force some emotions into me, and it's like, fuck you. That's not good. But Legend of the Galactic Heroes, like, all the characters they're very well rounded, and like they act like real people and everything. And the reason I'm putting it on there is because it's just got these really great scenes where characters are putting the group above themselves. You know, they're putting honor above everything else, and they're trying to like save their ideologies and you know, be you know, die gloriously in battle, or leave a good leave a lasting legacy and stuff. And the way they do that is just really cool. Like, there's some battle scenes in the middle where, like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a very good one in the middle where the two main factions are fighting against each other, and then, you know, one major character dies. By the way, many characters die in the show. That one's just really good. The way it's handled is very strong. It takes place in space, by the way. They're galactic heroes, so they're in space with like millions of, you know, soldiers and thousands of spaceships, and it's super epic. And I'm just putting it up there because of that, because like it has a super epic scale, but then it zooms down into like the personal thoughts of the main characters, and you get to see why they're thinking what they are, and how they're going to do these things. And it's just it's very it's just very kind of humanizing, right? And I'm just putting it up there. I will say that it's not the most glamorous show. Like, I wouldn't compare it to something like Redline or whatever. This is totally different. If we're talking about like dramatic, like modern ones, it's not. It doesn't have like the glitz and glamour. It's not super over the top and sparkly all the time.
Right.
But what it does is just, it's all solid, all very good, and it does have some moments where it looks amazing. But yeah,
Sure.
it's, you know, if you got time for 110 episode OVA. Check it out. Yeah, I mean, basically, like what we're getting at here, I'm noticing, going off on a little sidebar, the longer shows tend to bring out the emotions a lot. Even stuff, even just shonen, you know, like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or whatever. You get attached to these characters, and you don't want to see them leave, or you don't want to see something change, right?
Right.
And that's why I'm bringing up another long show. But yeah, Sam, do you have any like short shows? I don't want to like force you or anything, but do you have anything in mind, or a movie maybe?
Well, I'm gonna run through some that I'm not even gonna go into. I'm just gonna name the moments, and then I'm gonna get into my last one here, just because I want to be quick. But the Mamoru Hosoda films, like the big 3, those each have pretty feelsy moments, and one in particular is when at the beginning of Wolf Children, when the Wolfman dies, her husband dies.
I thought you were gonna say when they
She
were
boned a wolf.
I don't know why you guys think that's so. God, shut
all
up.
you
Okay,
focus on.
it's so dumb. The ending of Kill la Kill.
Oh yeah. I was gonna
Don't
lose your way.
the very last
falling
5
through
minutes.
The atmosphere, no spoiler. Oh,
Yeah.
God damn it. That's a light spoiler, but not really.
But they all like catch her. It's
Wait,
a powerful
why
moment.
were you just
kind of a
quote?
spoiler.
Why were you?
Spoiled some of it?
Wait, that's not a spoiler. You were quoting
sort
drops
of.
of Jupiter.
That's true.
Oh,
Okay, whatever.
Okay, anyway,
We'll just play that song over this whole part.
The aftermath of Medical Mechanica from Fooly Cooley, I think, is kind of a powerful moment, just because parts of the city are just left in ruins from this really ridiculous thing that just happened, and Naota is sitting there with Haruko's base, and she leaves it with him, the Rickenbacker.
Oh yeah.
He just kind of
show Fooly Cooley.
Everything you got attached to these people in 6 episodes.
In one episode, I was attached.
And fucking,
I was attached
fucking
in one scene. Know what I'm saying?
It was
Yeah.
It was a very powerful final episode. It was a crazy battle, crazy, ridiculously huge hand thing, and Atomisk, and everything was just crazy. And then Haruko flies away, and she's just like, "Well, fuck," and then she just kind of leaves. And Naota's just like, I never saw her after that. I've never heard from her again. And it was just kind of like this kind of, I don't know. For me, it was kind of a cool moment. It was a really powerful moment. The ending to Little Busters, in this case, Little Busters Refrain.
I haven't seen this one yet.
It's you know what, dude?
Make it a light spoiler.
The anime doesn't really make sense, but you kind of have to take it at face value. But there's Little Busters, which is 26 episodes, and then there's Little Busters Refrain, which is 13.
Long show.
12.
There we go.
And Refrain kind of, they plant seeds in the first season.
The
Little
seed
Busters
is strong.
They plant little seeds of this weird. They plant little seeds of this weird thing going on, and they never touch on it. And Refrain is what explains all of that and ends the show. And but basically, you kind of discover that everything you've been watching is not really real.
It's all fake and gay. Yeah, it's all fake and gay.
I actually don't want to spoil this because
that was a little bit of a spoiler there by saying that, but you know.
Yeah, shit. Fuck. Yeah, okay, anyway, like but it's just,
don't worry, I'll forget about it soon enough.
It's just the conversation at the end between two of the main characters that's like really, there's people crying, they're crying, I'm crying, Boo's crying, Smokey's crying, everyone's crying, and yeah. I'm gonna get to my last one here, and then I'll pass it back to Mac. But one very powerful moment for me was in the first rebuild of Evangelion movie, You Are Not Alone.
That one was pretty much like the show without too many differences, right? Or the first 6 episodes without too much.
Yeah, the last battle in it is against Ramiel. And that...
The best girl, by the way.
They did something a little different with that battle at the end. He misses the first shot, which I think he does in the show too. But with the rifle...
I don't think he does miss in the show, does he?
I think he misses once.
Oh, maybe he does, because she has to use the shield. Or no, maybe she uses the shield to... I think she uses the shield first, and then he has just one shot. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, it's one shot, or they have to recharge for like another long amount of time that they don't have before Ramiel hits again. In any case, in the movie, she uses the shield one more time to buy him time, and everything that they're sitting in, that Unit 2 and Unit 0 and Unit 1 are sitting in, is destroyed, and everything is hot, everything is burnt to the ground, and Shinji is ready to give up, and Misato is just like, no, not right now.
That's not what happens in the show.
No, that's not what happened. This is the different part. And Misato says no. Like, you have to do this. So Shinji he screams a little bit and he gets up, and you see Unit 1 kind of slowly get up, slagging again, and he like hurdles the rifle onto his arms and gets into position again, and then it charges, and it's just watching him slag through the debris and the rubble and the pretty much destroyed area, through all the smoke and everything, and getting in position again for one more shot. That moment was so damn powerful, and the music made it that much more powerful. And he finally lines up the shot again, and he finally gets it. And Ramiel has a voice in the movie, and when he makes the shot, Ramiel actually screams, and it's a really scary, gut wrenching like siren scream, and it's a perfect ending to that moment, and blood goes everywhere, and it's great, and I cried because I was just like, fuck, man. That's why Shinji's a badass right there. And
So you like characters that are badasses. That's what makes you feel the most emotional.
Fair enough.
I feel like
I'm just kind of assuming here.
No, you're not wrong, because I like
when
characters
kind of rise up and do stuff.
They come out of, they're like the underdog, and they come out of this.
Yeah, the underdog. There we go.
Yeah, they come out of this struggle they've been facing the whole entire, in this case, Shinji facing throughout the whole movie. He's like this wussy, and he comes up and he's like, no, I have to do this. I'm going to do it because of Rei, because of what she just did. And I'm going to do it for Misato, and I'm going to do it for my father, even though he's a dick. And he just gets into position again, bam, and it's like, holy shit. That whole scene is just like, that whole fight actually is just like, goddamn. But yeah, that's the big one on my list. Throw it back to Mac for his last couple, and then yeah, I'm good. That was oh god,
anime of all time, Futurama, Jurassic Park.
Oh god. So
No,
true.
but
So true.
Like,
No,
still
but seriously.
waiting for- I don't even know.
But
what the song is.
seriously, it's even though it's not an anime. I'm an R anime mod.
I'm a moderator.
I'm a moderator. Shelter is not anime.
Yeah, there is a white guy in the vicinity, not anime.
Anyways, no, but seriously, I guess I'm gonna end this up with a scene from the quintessential rom-com, the rom-com that started
Toradora.
the greatest rom-com movement ever, and that is Toradora, specifically the Christmas episode of Toradora.
Christmas cake.
No Christmas cake. No Christmas cake.
I don't even remember exactly what happened in that one, but I like Toradora. It's pretty.
I
good. like the
rewatch
ending
this show
theme.
every year around Christmas time.
I watch Berserk around Christmas time.
Nick, it's the scene where Ryuji is in
Without spoiling,
in the
refresh.
teddy bear suit.
Yeah,
The
okay,
Christmas,
I vaguely remember.
the Santa
but
teddy bear suit,
yeah.
and he's supposed to go and see Minarin after this because, of course, they were trying to hook each other up with their friends
hate
who they
Minarin
happen
so
to
much.
like their opposite friends. And
Yeah, we got the love quadrangle. or
the
whatever.
quadrangle of love, yes.
The scum's wish
The
shape.
Scum's wish love, yes. But the execution of that scene after he walks out and that slow realization that Taiga has, right in the damn feels. And then the
Oh, yeah, I
OST
think I did that,
Lost My Pieces comes in, and it's like, holy shit. And it's just her
by Papa
screaming.
Roach?
It's just her screaming and yelling, running after him.
Sorry.
Just like tears running down her face. And it's just like, holy shit. Like that right there. So perfect. So good.
It's a good teen romance. It's good.
Yes, but anyways,
I like
Jurassic
Toradora.
Bark fries dog. Yeah.
Um,
On to you, Nick.
yeah. So I'm going to mention a really quick one. It's called Furiko or Pendulum. It's a short you can find on YouTube. We'll link it in the show notes. It's 3 minutes long.
Oh, I
Did you
didn't
guys
watch
get a
that,
chance
but
to
I
watch
saw you
that?
posted it. Yeah, no, I didn't. I was.
Dude, do you want to just like watch it right now and then we can like cut 3
No.
minutes out? I don't know if that's. Anyway.
No.
I'm just going to tell everyone to watch. Okay, House of Small Cubes. So you've all seen that, right? Sam, you seen that? Sumiki no Lee or whatever?
No.
Sam, you
No.
said you saw that one, right?
No, I don't think so.
With
What are you
the old
talking
man in the sea diving underneath the buildings,
No.
Oh, okay. Yep.
where he drops his pipe in there and he has to
No.
like fish it out.
No.
Okay, well, basically, both of these shorts are one of the Furiko's 3 minutes, and House of Small Cubes is like 12 minutes, and they achieve more like emotional. They have more emotional weight in those short amount of, in 15 minutes, you get more emotion than you would in 15 hours for a lot of shows because of the way it's all handled. There's no dialogue. It's all just character actions, and you can tell what's going on based on, what they're doing. And the soundtrack is good too. And what happens is, like, basically they're both like almost about like reliving life a little bit through their minds and trying to recapture some of the lost youth that they had, and they're like remembering all of that. That's basically what they're about. And it's just really, really well done. We'll link them both in the show notes. I just thought I'd mention those two shorts. A couple of my favorite super short ones. And then, what else we got? We've already talked about Haibane Renmei, but I'll mention that one again. Just
Haibane
really
Renmei.
Good, understated drama.
Haibane
There's
Renmei.
not any of the melodrama. The characters don't overact. It's like an introspective, examination of a couple of girls, Reki and Raka, and they're just trying to figure out how to save themselves and how to save each other. And that's pretty much what the show is, like, redemption and forgiveness and all that stuff. And it's just really, really well done. Like they have a scene like at the bottom of a well that's stronger than any scene in like these hyper explosion shows. I think it's really good. So we've already talked about it though. So
Good.
I'm just gonna recommend one to Sam real quick. I'm totally droning on a little bit. Sam, you need to watch Kaiba from 2008.
Sam needs to watch
Taki
Steins
Yuasa.
Gate and the
All right,
second
Sam.
season of Clannad.
There you go. You got some plan to watch.
I should just watch all these, and we can do a whole episode of what I thought of all these recommendations.
There you go. The Sam recommendation episode in 2019.
Fair enough.
2019.
Fair enough.
Because we're going to keep recommending.
And on that bombshell of Sam's ever-growing plan-to-watch list, I have been Mac, and with me has been Sam and Nick, and this has been the Feels Good Man Anime Podcast.
Should do another one of these later on.
So anyways, as I was saying before, okay, look, length times diameter plus weight over girth divided by angle of the
Weight
tip
over
squared.
Okay, and I'm just gonna stop
okay.
recording.
Now it makes sense. What if the girth is 0? Then it's just undefined, right? you got an impossible equation then.